Hey, this is Dr. Jeff coming to you from Costa Rica at our beautiful facility called Rythmia. And I'm filling in for Jerry. And this is called Ceremony Stories. He's on a roll talking about different experiences that he's had and that he's heard about in ceremony. So I want to continue that while Jerry's not available. He's out of the country for the time being, taking a much needed break. So it's very good, and I'm glad he's doing it. I always recommend that he takes time for himself as his counselor, his consigliere. I hope that he listens to me, and he does sometimes. So, I was thinking about like the most profound experience that I've had in ceremony, and it was really hard to come up with one because I've had so many. Now, what am I even talking about, like in the ceremony? Well, at Rhythmia, we have what's called ayahuasca sessions. And ayahuasca is an indigenous plant medicine that we offer people that are medically appropriate 4 times in their week-long program. And it's one of the modalities that we have, as well as breath work, meditation, yoga, super healthy food, hydrocolonic cleanses, and counseling if needed, as well as hot cold plunge pool and sauna and volcanic mud. So body work, in other words, and massage. So this is a resort that you would go to on a vacation, but it's been converted into a facility that's medically licensed with the Costa Rican Ministry of Health. And we have a ton of medical staff here, nurses and doctors, and then a ton of shamanic staff and people that facilitate this indigenous plant medicine in a very responsible way. So anyway, in those sessions at night, there's 4 of them. There's this very amazing process that happens for people. And the reason they come here is because they're trying to connect with themselves, have a soul merger because they've been dissociated for their whole life, and then to get plugged back in to who they are as people, and then move forward in a way that's productive and successful and happy and with clarity and sovereignty, as we say. So personal sovereignty is one of our goals for the guests. And people, if they're sovereign, mean that what that means is that they can make their own decisions. They can do what's best for them. They can have things come up and they know what's right. Their intuition is strong, and they can follow things, and they're very connected. And then because they're connected with themselves, they can connect with others. So, during one of these processes an ayahuasca session, I was going through some things. I was very stressed out. I was working a lot, and I had a baby on the way. This was a couple years ago, and just there's a lot going on, and I was like not taking care of myself very well, and I hadn't been for a good year and a half, just because of stress and just lots of work. So what was happening was I was ignoring myself and just kind of doing what I do, which is just take care of everybody else and just make things work and make things happen and all that. But I was becoming unhappy. And so that was one of my intentions in the session with ayahuasca. I said, all right, show me what I need to know to be happy. What should I do? Like, I feel like I'm lost. What do I need to do? And so what happened was this process called a pinta. Now, a pinta means a lot of different things. It has to do with visions. It has to do with visual stuff and maybe memories or things that you come up and you remember and you have a visual about it. There's also a part of the pinta which kind of looks like a kaleidoscope pattern of colors. And you guys have all seen a kaleidoscope where you turn it and you look through it and it has all these bright colors and this kind of pattern, sort of mandala looking thing. And that's a common occurrence with ayahuasca. What I've found through research is, and not my research, but digging through research papers that I've looked at internationally, is that there's 3 substances that can create that visual pattern in the visual field. And one of them is ayahuasca, or the DMT component of ayahuasca, and then LSD and psilocybin. Those substances, which we don't offer at Rhythmia, those substances that people use out in the world, those can create this same sort of kaleidoscope patterns. And I want to know, like, what does it mean? Like, what is that, right? And so what happened was, this is related to my experience that one night with ayahuasca, is that what happens is the default mode network of your brain, which is the resting state of sort of your daydreaming sort of place that your brain just goes to when you're not really thinking about anything in particular, when you're kind of just like on autopilot. We've all been there, like you're in traffic driving and all of a sudden you're just at work and you don't really remember like what happened because you're just on cruise control. So it's kind of the place your brain goes to automatically. And that's called the default mode network. And in the default mode network, there's these concepts there of consciousness, about your own beliefs about you, beliefs about the world. It's kind of this overall sort of theme of your awareness. And in there, there's concepts of order and disorder. And an orderly concept for me would be this Facebook Live, talking to you guys, listening. You guys are listening. I'm explaining this is orderly. It makes sense to me. So that's an orderly concept. Now, a disorderly concept, not a bad concept, but the concept that's like unpredictable and, let's say, chaotic, and not in a bad way. But like if I go outside, I'm in beautiful Costa Rica and it's raining and the leaves are blowing and the trees are moving. And that to me is unpredictable. Sorry, guys, I don't know what happened there. It was a little weird. Okay, let me get out of one of these. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened here. Okay, I'm gonna leave one of these. Sorry, guys, I know it's a little tricky.